Welcome to Choose You Conversations, where we focus on self-care so you can do a better job of doing what God put you on this earth to do. I'm Dr. Rachel Mitchum Elahee, psychologist, executive coach, and author of the book, Choose You. Greetings. I am Dr. Rachel Mitchum Elahee, psychologist, executive coach, and your hostess with the what?
Mostess.
There you go. We didn't even practice that, y'all. Welcome to Choose You Conversations, where we talk about self-care and how we can get this going in our lives, y'all. We're talking to incredible women, and today I have some of the best. Let me tell you who I have with me today. I have Dr. Nicole LaBeach. Who is she? I'm going to tell you who she is. Let me tell you. She's a successful entrepreneur. Girlfriend is a master coach, okay? And she's a mentor. But most of all, she is a champion for helping others achieve results and discover their true self, regardless of their journey in life or their current situation. She here to help us, y'all.
Okay.
She has, I can't even read this whole bio, but I would because it's good reading, honey. But I'm going to tell you she's worked in corporate America. I'm going to tell you that her faith and personal motto is that life is a gift. Living is a choice. Baby, we're going to get our life today. We're going to live today. She has been, now, some of y'all are like, wait a minute. Dr. Rachel, no, Dr. Nicole. Dr. Nicole's a whole TV star here, y'all. She's on the Oprah Winfrey Network. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. She was on it, put a ring on it, and honey, she changed lives, transformed relationships. Let me tell you. But she's not an ordinary kind of woman. See, she's sitting over there, and then the other woman you see, if you look closely, you're going to see something a little different. You didn't quite know what it was, baby. They shine. They're luminescent because they are sister diamonds.
Yes.
They are beautiful, and they are hard, and they are highly sought after. Woo, woo, woo. Y'all didn't add that, did you? This is her wonder twin, Crystal Khalil. And who is that? Baby, these wonder twins have activated, and this diamond is an entrepreneur and a coach who helps women become unapologetically brilliant. That right there. Unapologetically brilliant in their profession and their relationships. See, Crystal's done all the things too. Oh, she is a corporate mastermind. Oh, she's written a book. Dr. Nicole did too. I didn't mention that because you can't even get all of her bio on this sheet. But I'm going to tell you she wrote a book. Crystal Khalil wrote a book. Hard workers work hard. And networkers do what? They move up, baby. They move up. So I am so excited about these two women of Volition Enterprises who are here with me to shine bright and help us to shine brighter. And I'm doing a whole lot of tomfoolery here, but I have to tell you that I love these women and they are amazing. So we're talking about self-care. Y'all know that because y'all been here with you. Welcome. Thank y'all. And I said that in all of my southernness from Ohio. Thank y'all for being here. So choosing you is about putting yourself first so that you can do what God put you on this earth to do. And what we focus on in Choose You is self-care. Because baby, if we ain't taking care of ourselves, nothing else can get done the way it's supposed to get done. We are not doing what God put us here to do, or we're not doing it well. Would y'all agree with that?
Absolutely.
Agreed.
So I'm curious, why do you, and either one of y'all can take this, both of y'all can take it, why do you think self-care has become critical for you? What made the difference?
For me, it became critical because I was burnt out, overwhelmed, stressed out, feeling like I wasn't seen, I wasn't heard. I was doing for everybody else, and I didn't have anybody in my circle that was doing for me. And I had set it up like that without realizing that I set it up like that. And I realized that if I didn't change, that I was accelerating my age. I had started having health conditions, and everything was starting to pile up. And I always felt like I had some tension in my shoulders and a knot in my chest. And if I didn't do something different, it was just going to get worse. And the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing and expecting something different. So I had to learn. I had to learn to choose myself, start putting myself first. And unfortunately, that came with some loss. But the
How so?
gain, because when you are the one doing for everybody else, Dr. Rachel, when you choose yourself, people like will get angry. Like, what is wrong with you? You've changed. You used to be the one that do da da da, and you were always there. And now I feel like you've pulled away and you're doing this. No, I'm not pulling away. I'm choosing me. I can't
Yeah.
say yes to everything you have going on because I've chosen myself in this season. I've chosen to put me first. And that means you have to say no to some things that are important to other people. And so, yes, I lost some friendships in choosing me,
But you're better
and
for it. Wow.
I'm so much better for it. Oh my God, because what I gained was magnified. I
Yeah.
what I gained, oh my gosh, I can't even tell you all the beautiful things I've gained and the changes that have taken place. If you look at my pictures from back then and my pictures now, I don't even look like the same person.
Right.
Really?
Right.
Wow.
I've aged backwards. I told my kids
So
I'm gonna
choosing you will make you look better.
it
You know what? And we good looking too, y'all.
that part.
Just saying.
That's you said a whole word right there, Crystal. How about you, Dr. Nicole?
Um, why did I just picture the Bugs Bunny cartoon where the road runner, where they say beep beep, and the road runner would have this conversation with Bugs Bunny where he had lumps right on top of his head from hitting his head in the wall or some catastrophe. I felt like that's what was happening. I just kept hitting my head up against the wall. And I kept seeing lumps that I was trying to press back in because it didn't look appealing, right? And the lumps were metaphorically, I was putting on weight. Metaphorically, I was feeling quite lonely. I was feeling depressed. I couldn't keep up the pace of what I had created to be my life, to be seen as important and valuable to the people in my inner circle. And I started to recognize, first of all, it wasn't sustainable because what worked before was not working anymore. It was almost like God was like, the gig is up. I'm not going to let it work anymore because I need you to take care of yourself. I need you to be a better steward of your mental health. I need you to be a better steward of your physical health. I need you to stop people pleasing because it's literally gutting you like a fish. And I need you to recognize that if you don't do some things differently, the self-suffering is not going to be assigned from me. It's going to be assigned from you. And I felt like God was in the place where he was like, and if that's what you want, I'm going to let you have that. And I was like, no, sir. And I don't want you to be mad or start yelling. So let me get it together. And it was like a sense of urgency. It was like a wake-up call to be like, you got to do this differently because you are sleeping behind the wheel and it's costing you.
And my grandmama would say a hard head to make a soft behind.
Honey, come through, Grandma.
And you was trying to get it right.
I was trying to get it right. But I was trying to get it right, Dr. Rachel, through doing. I was trying to get it right through doing because I'm a doer and I'm a fixer. And God was like, I need you to be with you. I need you to be with me. I need you to just be. Put everything down and just be. And I was like, well, where they do that? Where they do that? How they do
I don't even know what that looks like.
how I'm supposed to do that?
When you're used to going, you don't even know what that looks like.
And I had to slow it down enough to hear what he was saying. And it just so happens that's the name of our retreat, Just Be Retreat. Because we were like, folks have to practice just being.
Absolutely. I remember years ago, my therapist telling me, Doc, I want you to just sit. I was like, and do what?
That
He
part.
said, nothing. Nothing. Do nothing. And I remember feeling really anxious and antsy for 5 minutes. Just he said, do it for 5 minutes. And it took a long time for me to just be settled and be comfortable not doing it. Well, oh, wait, I should go hang that up. I mean, I could sit here, but what if I run and put that load in? The washing machine, the dish. Like, I could think of all these things. So to just sit early on, it was a challenge. It was a challenge. And both of y'all said something that's just, I want to get into. You alluded to, Dr. Nicole, really, when you're choosing you, there's a level of transparency and vulnerability because you can't keep the race up. You can't keep going. And so if you're going to stop, you have to be willing. I'm adding this in, but I'm thinking you have to be willing to let other people see you on some level shift. You can't hold it up for everybody.
Yeah, so here's what's funny. I was humble, kind, all the good stuff, right? But didn't realize I was hijacked by my ego. I was hijacked. Because if I'm not doing something, what is the conversation? If I'm not doing something, what are people going to say? If I'm not doing something, then I'm not serving. I'm not ministering. I got to do something all the time. And when I realized, I have language for it now, honestly, I didn't have language for it then.
Yeah.
I just thought I had a very busy, productive life. And the things that weren't going right were not stopping. They were picking up speed. And I was like, Lord, I need some help because I feel like I'm doing all the right stuff. But there goes that doing word again. And I think I know you're asking me to be vulnerable, to be connected, to sit still, to slow down, to hear from you, to talk to you. You are a friend of mine. I need to be a friend of yours. I hear you, but I don't know how to do all of that because doing is what I know.
Yeah. For so many of us, our esteem is tied to our label. It's tied to our title.
Yeah.
So if we're, like you said, if we are not out there doing the things that people know us for, and even if it's not, even if it's not on a big stage, even just, even in your neighborhood, even at your church, even wherever you live, work, and serve, if you're not doing all of that you do, then who are you? And God wanted you to just be so you could see who he knows you to be outside of the titles.
Yeah.
Wow, that's rich. That's rich. Something else you both said, and Crystal, you talked about this, but you both talked about how the body will tell the story. And what story do we want it to tell?
Yes.
I learned that energy that is not released becomes mass.
That part. That part.
Energy that is not released becomes mass. And when you are constantly pressing override on how you feel, you are taking on everybody else's energy. Every time you answer the phone, you problem solving. You are the Olivia Pope fixer for everybody in your family, your friend circle, on your job. Um, and you have no outlet because you are pouring into everybody else, but nobody is pouring into you.
And we won't even let them.
We won't even let them.
The few people who, the few people who check in, what you
Yeah.
need, we're like, I'm good.
I'm good. No, thank you. I'll get my own thank you. Right? And
Crazy.
over time, and then too there's a piece where we're wearing all these masks and we don't want people to really see us. Because from the outside looking in, it looks good. We're in golden cages, Dr. Rachel. Golden cages. It look good from the outside. You got the good job. Your marriage looks great. All of this stuff. You got money. You have all the trinkets, the trash, all this. You're doing the trips. You're going to the spa. You're doing because you are a doer.
Right.
But secretly, we're going through hell at home. We're going through hell on the job. We're tired. We're exhausted. And you don't want to, you're not vulnerable yet enough to tell people
Yeah.
what's really going on because you don't want people to think certain things. You don't want to be judged. And you have not created a safe space for you to just be.
Yeah.
And those things start to accumulate in the body. And like you said, the body will tell the story. The body keeps score and it will tell the story. And all those things that you press override on, they just start accumulating. They start accumulating. And that's why Black women are at the top of every bad list. Diabetes, heart disease, fibroids,
Depression. You name
First
it.
of all, we can't even make it in this world the same as everybody else. To even survive for a Black baby girl to even make it in here,
to even
those
make
odds are. So we fighting from the womb to the tomb.
we
That
fighting
part.
to get here, Dr. Rachel. Then we inherit a boatload of trauma.
Yep.
And then we get our own experience with the trauma. So we are fighting, like you said, from the womb to the tomb.
And we try to pretty it up. Oh,
Yeah.
I can put some foundation on this,
Yeah.
and some new clothes,
and
Yeah.
some red lipstick.
Yeah.
and a bad bag.
Yeah.
And if I put heels on it, baby, you can't tell me nothing. And
Yeah.
y'all ain't gonna see
and
it,
if it drive up in a Porsche, hey,
baby.
That part. That part. Don't drive up in a clean ride.
you try to tell me I'm not okay.
Yeah.
You try to tell me that I'm not good.
Yeah.
I'll cut you. Right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
and the truth is, we're hurting. We are hurting, and there's no way to release it. Like, we get bombarded with stuff from the moment we wake up in the morning, whether it be the news, Instagram, social media. On your way to work, you thinking about the snipers that's gonna be on the building when you get there. It's just stuff, and we are bombarded, and we need spaces like this. We need sisterhoods where we can be able to share, release, get our cups filled back up, or else our bodies definitely.
And we get to normalize the raggedy, right? We get
Yeah.
to normalize, baby. Sometimes you just you ain't gonna be 100% polished, and it's okay.
Yeah.
There's growth in the raggedy.
Well, if you think about it, we are trained to be inauthentic. We're trained from like a really young age, right? And we define authenticity as when you decide you are no longer vested in hiding, protecting, proving, or defending. Well, shoot, that was the identity, right? What goes on in this house stays in this house. Hide. Can't nobody tell you nothing because you always right, or you've lost, right? Defend.
Right.
If it's a lie, it's quacking like a lie, it's showing up like a lie, it's hurting everybody like a lie, it's toxic as a lie, protect. And if it's raggedy, you got to prove that it's good. So in so many ways, to not be a problem or to fit into our families or to be strong or to be safe or to be seen, we're trained. Do these things so that you will not be weak. Do these things.
So we will accept you.
Absolutely.
So you can get love.
But when you start to figure out this shit is killing me.
It is.
Like it literally, I'm killing myself slowly because I don't know where I begin and where I end, because what I'm showing up to is what keeps me safe, what people will accept, what gives me value, right?
And we're killing ourselves for people who are not feeding us, financing us, and I'm going to leave the third F off because of the show. But you can call me later about it. We're killing ourselves for these things.
Yeah.
But, oh God, I was just going to say too, I don't know about y'all, but, I was indoctrinated in not being enough.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I was taught it wasn't enough to be good. I had to be better. I had to exceed expectations. We come into, as a black woman or as a black man, but a black woman, we come in behind the 8 ball. And it's like, I remember my mother saying, a white man's high school diploma is a black woman's master's degree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? So I have got to cross all my T's, dot all my I's, do a handstand, be a kickstand, do all these things, make everybody look good, exceed expectation. I have to be bulletproof and not leave any room for question. So when I write an email, I have to write it, rewrite it, walk away from it, read it to my girlfriend, come back, write it again. Because I'm not going to leave no holes for you to get me.
Yeah.
And we walk around with that body armor from head to toe. And we're constantly thinking about how to close up the chinks in the armor so that people can get us. Because we're taught from little bitty girls that somebody is out to get you. Can't trust women because they catty. They gonna try and take your man. They gonna try and take your job. They don't like you because you cute. You can't trust them. Can't trust men because they all dogs. And they gonna try and da 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 da. Can't trust
the white man.
So
You just like, what is this?
Can't trust nobody but your dog.
You can't trust nobody.
Right.
And then you start to not trust yourself. So we're not even trusting our judgment when we say, well, maybe I need something. No, I don't need anything different. I'm sure I'm okay.
Because here's the thing that's interesting, right? When people say to you, you have to be 3 times as great, the starting point is where you are is not great. Where you are is not good. You have to do something to be someone. You got to do something prove to the world that you are worth the oxygen that you are getting for free. And you really do start to believe folks paying for oxygen, so you got to work for yours. When the truth of the matter is, everybody's getting oxygen, right? The quality of the oxygen may change, but everybody's getting it. But you think your value, the price you pay, is to accept that your value is in what you can do.
Yeah.
So when people start to talk about self-care, you're like, well, I must have been caring for myself because now this conversation's coming up at 43. Well, how the heck did I get to 43? I must have been doing something. And then the doing word comes up again because everything is based in that conversation. So when you try to shift the paradigm and move off the dial of it's about what you can do to who you be, it's a shift. It's a shift that can shake you to the core because if you
tilts the world.
It really
tilts
does.
Your world.
It does, because you're like, if I shift the paradigm and I start to move from this place of being, who am I going to lose? What's going to change? What will I need to do differently for the things that are on my list, like safety, like connection, like all the stuff that's important? If I'm not doing, then the only thing that's left is me. I ain't never been taught that was enough. So, it tilts the world. And if you're not careful, it starts to create a loop, right? Because then you're like, well, I can't because I have too much to lose. Then you figure out you can't afford not to. This is not a real negotiation. You are at the precipice of something detrimental if you don't. Your opportunity is to go without resistance. Not to think that you got an option that I'm just going to keep doing it the way I've been doing it. But it does. It becomes this conversation where you recognize I'm fighting for my life here.
Yeah. There is a point with self-care. And it's if you have good people around you that I can almost imagine a crowd and everybody looking at each other and somebody tentatively steps forward and the next person tentatively steps forward. Well, you start to say, this is some bull. I need to do something different. If you got a good group around you, they like, yeah, you should, and me too. And so I have this image. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk more about y'all podcasts later. But I have this image of everybody starting to talk about that. Talk about that wiggle. Everybody starts to wiggle. Everybody starts to wiggle at the same time. Mm-hmm. Tell me about that.
So our wiggle is a practice that we came up with to create a safe space in the conversation. Because when we first met, I showed up with my mask and Dr. Nicole showed up with her mask and something miraculous happened. About 10 minutes into the conversation, the mask fell off and we were just Crystal and Nicole. And we were vulnerable and we were laughing and we were sharing, and it changed the dynamics of our relationship and our connection. And so we were like, how can we show women how to do this? And the visualization of that is the wiggle. Like, put your hands in front of your face and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Now take the mask off and put it on the desk. Yeah. Because the mask is the prerequisite for the doing. So we know you're wearing them. 1, 2, 3. Some of us got 5, 6, 7.
Yes, absolutely. Like I've been to what's that? I've been to Party City, baby. I got a few. They were on sale, honey.
They sitting up up in my closet like on a wig stand.
That part.
Right?
As needed.
Yes.
I got this one for work. I got this one for church. I got this one for home. This one when I hang out with my girlfriend. This one for my man. And the problem becomes we forget sometimes which one we're wearing, right? And we're in peace. We're in pieces, not peace, because wherever we go, we're like, let me dig in my bag and see which mask I need to put on, right? And we're putting on those masks, and sometimes we got on the boss mask and we're interacting with our romantic partner and we're showing up as the boss, and they like, wait a minute, right? And you're like, oh, I'm
Sorry.
sorry.
Hold on. Let me put on the other one. Hold on.
Hold on.
How you like that one?
Right.
And so we have so many masks that, like Dr. Nicole said, we don't know where they end and we begin. We don't know.
Yeah. And don't even recognize ourselves when we happen to take it off. We catch a glimpse. You walk past the mirror like, who was that? Who was that in the room? Who in the house with me? Oh, Lord, that's me. We lose sight. We forget who we are, who we look like.
Yeah. Because we have been trained that when it falls apart, the cost is so detrimental. And I think that's one of the things that is such an unfair result of trauma, right? So when we think about violence towards our young people, many parents will say, the reason I'm so strict is because if they're in the wrong place at the wrong time and they don't act the way they need to act, I'm going to wish that I was more stern and more punitive because now somebody else has them. And now somebody else is going to beat the life out of them or potentially take their life. So everything is from this place of real survival, right? Everything is, and we start to adapt to that level of drama and trauma. And we start to think, if I let the balls fall, I will die. There will be no ball falling in here. The balls have my initials on them. You'll know that they were mine. You'll see them on the ground. What will that say to you about me? Instead of being able to say, everybody will be all right. This juggling, your arms are tired. You shouldn't have been juggling 10 at the same time anyway. If they fall, everybody will survive. And you know what? So will you. So we're trying to prevent the catastrophe without recognizing the catastrophe is the loss of myself.
Oh,
that's the catastrophe.
my God.
I think the catastrophe, I believe the catastrophe is all these balls on the floor that got the letter NL on them. The catastrophe is the loss of myself. So I'm not even playing the right game. I'm what? I'm not even in the blue pill of the Matrix. I done took the wrong pill. I'm in my altered reality and I'm just trying to control the narrative, and I'm the one that's losing. And the most critical thing, sis, is I got the pen in my hand.
Yeah.
I could change the narrative if I just put it on the page and write something different. But I'm like, nah, that'll surely take me out.
Yeah. Talk to me about, and I don't know if either. I'm in remission at times from being a people pleaser, and that's a lot of what a lot of that identity goes along with exactly what you're talking about. You talked, Crystal, about when you made the shift to put you first. You lost some weight.
Mm-hmm.
You lost some dead weight. You lost people who didn't belong. You know, I struggled with how other people
You're
how
back.
oh I struggle with what other people would think, and I had to for my sake get to a point where and y'all have talked about it already, where I had to be more important
Yeah.
than what other people thought of me. It was survival.
Yeah.
It was pure and simple survival. I'm going to die here.
Yes. Certain death.
And they will have a couple tears, say a couple words about me that are nice, and move on. And I will perish in this place.
Yeah.
And we are perishing. Let's keep it real. We are dying from
Yeah.
dis-ease that's turning into disease,
Disease.
right?
Yeah.
And what I had to recognize was I was feeling a sense of lostness. That's not a word, but I was feeling like
It
my
is now.
feet, right? Like my feet were dangling. The sadness was hooking up with the depression, was hooking up with the weight gain, was hooking up with his cousin not feeling good enough. Then they was calling another cousin saying you need to work harder. And before you knew it, I was looking at the team and saying, this can't be my team. Like
Yeah.
this can't, as hard as I work, and that was where it started for me. I was like, as hard as you work, how are you not experiencing joy? How is that possible? As much as you work, as hard as you work, the level of the work, the quality of the work, the excellence of the work, the people that you're helping, how is the yummy eluding you? And I was like, okay, if I lose some folks and lose some things, makes sense because I'm a little lost. I'm doing all the right stuff, but I'm a little lost. So if I can just reconnect with my source and not only ask you what this is, but ask you what to do and then be quiet and not afraid of what you respond as my source, a singular source, these resources will work themselves out. But I had to tap back in, Doc. I had to, because it was doing a lot of stuff, and a lot of it was great stuff because we're overachievers, so we're going to find the great stuff to do. But I was like, God, this cannot be all there is.
So tell me, I got to jump in here because I get it. For me, I get what connecting to the source is. But for somebody listening, they're like, I don't even, what? I don't even know what that is.
So,
Tell me some very specific things that you might do, Crystal, to connect to your source.
oh my gosh, I learned, you know, I learned the hard way because, like, when I decided to take the leap from corporate America, Dr. Rachel, I was so afraid, and I said, God, have I saved enough money? Am I ready? Am I going to be able to fish for myself? Because these folks, they feed me, and they bring me. I get a paycheck every 2 weeks, and I get premium water and all of these things. Am I going to be able to do this? And he said, "Oh, you doing that? Oh, they're your source, or are they a resource? Oh, you think that's the best I have for you? You think that if they don't pay you, then you're going to be out here on the streets. You don't trust that I, as your source, provide resources, and resources change. I've always provided resources in your life, but you have to trust me as the
The
source.
source. The source.
Come to me as the source. So the ways that I make sure that I maintain my relationship with the source is I'm intentional about creating time with the source. Prayer time, meditation, just having those silent moments where I can just sit with him and hear from him. For New Year's, I went to Aruba and I sat on the beach and did nothing for 5 days. Absolutely nothing. But listen to God, journal, read my Bible, listen to some audio books and on spirituality, and just say, God, speak to me. So I'm very intentional to make sure that in all my doing, I root my being in the source. Because what I've learned is as long as you are unaware of your being, you will seek meaning and definition in your doing. Mm-hmm. You will seek meaning and definition in your doing. You will look for affirmation from other people, from things. You'll buy things and do things that you think will define you. And whatever meaning you find outside of your being will dissolve over time. It'll be deceptive. It'll be destroyed by time, right? Mm-hmm. Those friends who you thought were your friends will hurt you. That job that you thought was your source will lay you off, or you'll start feeling pain on the job, or all those things that you feel are that you've used to define you will start to get destroyed over time. The only real thing you have is the source and your being. Mm-hmm. Once you have that connection, it gives a different context and meaning, and you have a different lens over your eyes when it comes to the other things. You see them differently.
Yes.
And
you said something, and I want to hold on. I want to come right back to you, Dr. Nicole, because you said something, Crystal, that some people miss, which is that your relationship with the source is a real relationship. It's bi-directional. Mm-hmm. So it's not just me saying, let me tell you what all my problems are. Right. And then I go on. No, I get to sit and listen. We forget sometimes to listen. And this is a relationship where God wants, okay, well, you talk to me, now let me talk to you. Mm-hmm. And you just get to sit until you hear it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You get to hear it. Mm-hmm. And that's some maturity right there.
That's yummy.
It's yummy.
That's yummy. That's yummy. What were you going to say, Dr. Nicole?
I was going to add to that, because some people may be looking and saying, yeah, but that sounds good. But what if I don't know how to do that? I remember hearing a word that talked about the Bible reading me, not me reading the Bible. And I was like, now say that again, what you mean? And what the pastor was saying was, we've been taught to read the Bible, but you can have the same passage and 75 people can read that same 2 lines, and their understanding and experience of those 2 lines can be totally different because of where they are in the now. Yeah. So there were points where, being very elementary and on my face, I had to say, I don't know what's happening. But if I open this word, can you read me? Can you make sure where I go in this Bible speaks to my soul where I am right now? And I promise you, God was like, it's a living word. It can do exactly that until you get to the point where you can discern what I'm talking about with this. where you can stop going to the false solutions, trying to meet the real need. If you come to me and you open this word and you say, Lord, read me, show me, you'll be like, you got to be kidding. You're talking about loss right here. You're talking about identity right here. You just said right here that you will restore what I lost in this divorce. You will restore what I lost in my disappointment. Oh, I lost 12 years? You said you can restore the years. Oh, so you can meet me like a good friend would? Because a good friend, if you call them, they're going to pick up the phone. Yeah. So that book, that thing that you're like, is too much, it's too long, it's the King James Version, I don't know what they're talking about. Get you a Message Bible. Get you an NLV Bible. Get you something where you, when you open it, it can speak to you and it can read you right where you are right now. And what you start to realize is he is a friend like no other. And what he wants is for you to care for you so that you can care for others.
Amen.
Yes. I'm hearing, speak, Lord.
Speak
to me. I just listen. Oh, why you talking? I just see Suge coming down the road, honey, in that yellow dress. That's what I see when you speak. Yes.
Listen.
Speak to me. I'm gonna tell you, I have gone through in recent time, and I love how we grow and it's progressive approximations toward the goal is what I say, because I've grown, I'm more mature, and sometimes these same lessons come back up, and I'm like, oh, Lord, I got something different this time.
Yes.
And it requires, that happens when you go through something. Mm-hmm. And there was a point where, and a couple points where I said to the person I was kind of thinking was my source, can you go ahead and do what you're required to do? Can you go ahead and send what you're supposed to send? Can I get the things that you are required legally to provide to me? Mm-hmm. And that person would almost relish in withholding. And I got real clear one day. And I apologized to God. I said, I will never ask this person for anything. Because anything that person provides comes from you. Mm-hmm. You are my source. Yeah. Not him, not her, not this, not that. You are my source. And when I already knew it, but when I articulated it, my whole world shifted. My whole world shifted. And there was a peace that overcame me. Mm-hmm. There was some anxiety and some stress that shed in that moment in real time. Yes. That I have not felt again. Mm-hmm. Now, do I feel stress? I mean, yeah, I'm human. Do I feel some anxiety sometimes? Absolutely. But that one, that concern, baby, it's gone. I can't. I don't see it. It's gone. So there's some peace, and that's self-care. Yeah. That's self-care. Doing, and I talk in my book about when you don't know what to do what you know to do. So it's a lot of things that can feel, Lord, I don't know the next move. Okay, but what do I know to do? Yes. Yes. I know to do this one thing, and I'm not going to worry about the next 10. I know to do this one thing, and so I'm going to do it. Right.
And I'm going to see where it takes me.
I'm going to see where it takes me. And
yes.
and Lord, I need you to, God, you made me, so you know I'm confused.
But you know what, Dr. Rachel? Anytime we elevate a resource to the position of source, we put
Struggle.
ourselves in pain and we suffer.
Struggle
Y'all
bus.
not just sister diamonds, y'all dropping diamonds. Come on with
Struggle
the
bus.
gems.
Struggle bus.
Anytime we elevate a
Whoa.
resource to the source, we're asking for pain and we are going to suffer, whether that be a job, a man, even our children, what parents, whatever we elevate from the position of resource to source is going to cause us pain.
Guaranteed pain, or as I say, certain pain. And the thing that is hard is it creates self-suffering.
Yep.
So when people talk about suffering, yes, there is some suffering that you experience based on your divinely ordered assignment of your life. But then there are some things that we do to create a level of self-suffering. And I feel, don't ask nobody, don't tell them I said so. I feel Jesus be like, I didn't assign that to you.
Yeah.
My desire is not you suffer with this.
And it ain't the devil.
Right?
The
And
devil
it ain't
said,
the
I
devil.
ain't got nothing to do with it.
It's not the devil. It's me. It's me. Crystal and I talk about when you have overstayed the assignment, you want to wear a fur coat on the hottest day in Atlanta because you don't want winter to be gone. You are going to feel some pain, my friend, because you want to outstay the assignment. You want to stay there because you don't want things to change. And God is like, you are in this, but you ain't in front of this. I'm in front of it. I'm here, back there, and over there. So then you get called to surrender. That part.
After you've been about to pass out and
About
sweating.
to pass out.
And looking like, who's that Jerome? Like, what was that? I'm going to get you sucker.
Rome and
Was that?
Rome. Right. Lenny from Good Times.
I got
Lenny,
plenty.
I got plenty.
I got plenty.
You know, and he's like, now I'm a fair God. I did not put you in this fur coat in 101-degree weather. I didn't. So that means, if it's self-suffering, I just have to have a level of awareness and recognize my source does not want me to suffer on this so I can release it.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing, once you release it, the suffering stops.
What happened?
What
Look at
happened?
that. Listen, I can talk to y'all all night, but I promise I'm not going to keep you. I have a couple more questions. So here's go. So sometimes I talk about ways, one of the ways that we can take care of ourselves is to just check in with ourselves. So if you're laying in bed, self, how you doing? How you doing, girl?
Yeah.
How's my head? Am I feeling okay? How's my heart? How's my stomach feel? Do you need anything? I just will sometimes take a inventory because I'll just run around and check on everybody else and everything else. And I haven't checked in on me. What are some things that you do in addition to connecting to your source? What are some other really specific things that you do to take care of yourself?
I make sure that every year my physical exams are scheduled. Breast exam, well woman exam, teeth, everything that needs to be checked on at my age, I make sure that I get that done. So much so that we have our assistant make sure it's on our calendar, right?
Amen.
Because we can get so busy and have so many things on our to-do list that we keep rescheduling ourselves and taking care of ourselves. So I make sure my body is taken care of. I also...
But Crystal, you feel okay. You look okay. I mean, is it really a priority if you feel fine?
Right. It is a priority. It is a priority because I'm a priority. And that also includes my mind. So you got the well woman, you got the breast exam, but do you have a therapist? Do you have a coach? Do you have a safe space where you can be, a safe space where you can voice the things that are hurting you, you can voice your fears and not feel like somebody has something, a weapon that they can use against you at a later date.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I'll
Those
go.
are
Okay.
self-care practices.
Yeah. Because I'll go make sure my oils change when it hits that 1,000, that 5 or 10,000, whatever mark it say on that little sticker on my window. And I might go a little bit over, but I ain't going too far over. I need my oil changed.
Right.
But my car is running fine.
Yeah.
We need to have our own maintenance schedule, and whatever that is required for you. I make sure I go to the acupuncturist. If my body is not operating at the proper capacity and I'm feeling off, I need to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
And I need to go and get a tune up.
Absolutely. How about you, Dr. Nicole?
This has been a big self-care hack for me. Boundaries. It's a super self-care hack. Super self-care. Not just making them, but maintaining them, because they do not maintain themselves. That has been such a huge self-care hack that it just keeps on giving. It's like the ATM that knows you when you show up and you don't even have to press the pin. It's just shooting out money. And I was not taught that growing up. I was taught you don't have boundaries if you want people to play with you. You don't have boundaries if you want to have friends. Because what if they leave? What if they don't want to follow? What if they don't want to respect those things? You're going to
Let them play with your toy. Let them play with your toys if they want to play with your toys. Otherwise, you're not being nice.
Right. So I learned all of these things. And when I really was like, the manicures are not enough. The trinkets are not doing what they used to. The trips feel more like a trip, not a vacation, because there is a difference. Because I was so busy, I couldn't even vacate, right? So it felt like I was on a trip of different sorts. I was like, oh, let's think about this. That boundaries thing has blessed my soul. And it's a practice. It's not something you do and then you leave. You have to do, then you have to maintain. You may have to reinforce. You may have to give out a speeding ticket or two. You may have to give some citations. You got to do what's necessary. But that thing right there, along with the health checks, along with recognizing too much cortisol of stress, is not good for me. I was like, girl, you have to do something different so you can thrive. Surviving is not enough.
No.
You got to thrive.
Thank you for that. I just remembered, I have 5 million thoughts when y'all are talking. One of them is that when I started tuning into me, I started recognizing my patterns. And I recognize that when my stress is high, I forget lots of things. And so now that's my cue. I may not feel stressed. I might not identify with that. But what I notice is, oh, I forgot. When people I love and trust say, And the kids are number one. Mommy, I told you this and you said, and I was like, oh, that sounds like something I would say. Or my assistant says, oh, we talked about it and I emailed you and I sent you the text. And I'm like, I have no memory of that. That is my personal sign, baby. Pull it together. Stop. Abort mission. Stop right now. That's my sign to take care of me and to shift gears and do something different.
Oh, Dr. Rachel, can I add something to that?
Please do.
Something that I started connecting with probably about a year ago. Decision fatigue. So being able to say, and I'll say sometimes to Crystal, can't make no more decisions today. Tapped out. Tapped out. First of all, the quality of the decision is on a straight decline. Second of all, I am just tired of making decisions today. And I got to be able to say, no more today. Not a one. I may just go put on a robe at 7 o'clock and be like, tap into Sesame Street or something that is mindless, but no more decisions today. No more decisions.
Let me add on to that too. Tonight, I had to stop at Publix on my way home. I pull in the parking lot. I'm on the phone with Nicole. I'm driving around the parking lot. I'm talking, trying to find a parking space. I find a parking space. I go into Publix. I'm doing my shopping. I'm still talking. I come out of that grocery store, and what did I say, Nicole?
I don't know where I parked my car. I was talking, and I don't have a clue where I parked my car.
How often do we do that? Trying to multitask and do everything.
Yeah.
And inevitably, we are doing things on autopilot that we're not even present in the now. And you can't do all. The brain is just like, enough. I couldn't remember if I parked on the left, parked on the right. I had to push the buttons on my phone to make the car start beeping so that I could find it. Yes. So another another self-care technique is to stay present in the now.
Powerful.
Stay present in the now.
Right now.
Avoid and resist the urge to try to be everything to everybody, to try and do everything at once. Prioritize and have the courage to say, listen, I'm pulling up at the store right now. Let me park and pay attention to what I'm doing and call you right back. Or let me finish this document right here and then I'll get back to you. I feel like you're saying something important right now. And if I don't stop and be present in the moment, I'm going to miss it.
I'm going to miss it.
Yes.
So give me a second. Let me finish this and call you back when you can have my full attention.
I love it.
That changes the game.
Absolutely.
It changes the game. It's a whole different game. One final question. Because we girlfriends, right? What is your guilty pleasure when it comes to self-care? What's that? What's your guilty pleasure?
I love yummy food. I love food that makes me want to jig a little bit. Like it lights up all my senses. It looks good. It smells good. It tastes good. It transports me somewhere. Because my other guilty pleasure that I love is travel. I love to travel, right? And I love luxury travel where folks will take care of me because I take care of a lot of people. Yeah. So being able to go and just be, and they like, we are happy to take care of you, makes me very happy.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. How about you, Crystal?
You know what, Dr. Rachel, I was prepared to tell you something. But the truth is I'm not guilty about pleasuring myself anymore.
That's yummy. That's
very
yummy, sis. That's yummy.
Ooh.
That's yummy. Yeah,
That's
yummy.
a reframe, right?
That's yummy.
That's
Yummy,
yummy.
oh, yummy, 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 yummy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
I'm not guilty about pleasuring. I used to be, but I'm not anymore.
Yeah.
If I need something or I feel like I want something, I get it. And I'm not guilty about it because I give so much of myself.
Yeah.
I give
That's it.
so much of myself and my time and my heart and my soul that when my being needs some ice cream, I get it.
Yeah.
When my soul needs to be sitting on the beach and feeling the sun on my skin and hearing from God,
Yes.
I do it.
Yes.
I'm not guilty about pleasuring myself anymore.
Yeah. Freedom.
I love that. Thank you
That's
for
freedom.
that. Thank you for that.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Is freedom.
Yeah.
When we say free women, what she just said is what we're talking about. Being free of the guilt,
Yes.
being free of the expectations, being free of the foolishness, being just being
Just
like
being free.
free. Just being free. If I want this, I have worked and sacrificed and poured into, I'm getting that. And I'm not asking anybody's opinion about what they think about what I've decided
My
to
word is unapologetic or
Yeah.
unabashed.
do. Yeah.
Unabashed.
Yeah.
Oh,
That freedom and supporting each other,
Yes.
not giving each other permission, but giving each other support.
Support.
yeah.
You do that, sis. Yes. Thank
Yes.
you.
You
Because
deserve
your
it.
freedom gives me what I need to understand the value of my freedom.
Yeah. And when I see other women being free, when I see other women taking care of themselves, when I see other women saying no, it reminds me, it strengthens me. And I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. I get to do it too. I get to do it too.
And you know what, Dr. Ray? I love what you said, Crystal. Oh, that was so yummy. Because if not being guilty is a boundary, you don't entertain anybody that wants you to feel guilt.
Amen.
If a boundary is, you know what? I don't feel guilty about things anymore. I'm a free woman that frees women, frees people, holds the space for other people's freedom, but holds the space for my own. When you get on my 285, because we always say boundaries are like the metaphoric 285. You don't want walls, because walls just invite people who like to scale walls to want to scale yours. Boundaries are not about walls, they're about guides. Are there dotted lines? Are there solid lines? Are there speed limits? How do I navigate your freeway so we can be in good relationship? And when you've decided you're not guilty, when people come on your freeway and they want to drive backwards with their guilty signs, oh, you gonna do that? Oh, how much that gonna cost? Oh my God. You like, right. Who she thinks she is? You're like, oh, there's an access road. Please take it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
With the quickness.
Goodbye. I have a boundary. You're trying to yuck my yum. No. Bye-bye.
There's something that I always say that your life is not a democracy. Other people, you may allow them to offer an opinion, but there's only one vote
That's
to
it.
be cast.
Yep. Right.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm not gonna talk y'all the rest of the time. Listen. This has been yummy.
Yay.
Thank you all. Thank you all for thank you for choosing you and then coming on here to talk about how you do it.
We love you, Dr. Ray.
It's mutual. It's absolutely mutual. And I told y'all before how much I love and respect and I'm excited about the work that you're doing. I love and respect you both.
you.
And I'm excited about the work. I'm excited about who you are.
Thank you.
And I'm excited about what you do. So tell us a little bit about, y'all do a lot. So listen, the people gonna have to go on on Beyonce's internet to find out some things. But tell us about the Yummy podcast. Scrumptiousness.
Yummy is an acronym. We didn't always know that. We would use the word yummy all the time to really talk about a blessing or something that was just like, ooh, this is so yummy. And one day, Crystal came and said, sis, I think yummy is an acronym. I was like, okay. She said, your ultimate most, and I said, meaningful yet.
Oh, yeah.
And we started screaming because we were both at the point where we were saying the good stuff's good and the great stuff's great. But there's something else. There's another level. There's a level where you know it's God and you feel it's God and you can see it's God because it don't fit nothing else. It is your ultimate, most meaningful yet. And we decided we wanted to create a podcast where people's soul had permission to speak.
Yes.
We wanted their soul to speak. We didn't want to put a whole lot of parameters, but we wanted them to move in authenticity, and we wanted to hear what came out when they gave their soul permission to speak, because to us, that was the yummy. Yes, you're a millionaire and you've done a million amazing things. Take no credit from that. We could see that in the bio. You're amazing. But when your soul can speak, what does it say? And that's what our podcast is about.
I love that. How can the people find it? Where do they look?
It is on YouTube under Crystal and Dr. Nicole, or on any of your listening platforms. It's called Yummy Podcast. You can also follow us on crystalandrnicole.com.
Yeah.
I love
And
it.
all of our social media, Crystal and Dr. Nicole, will get you to us so you can see what the yummy is about and how to get you some.
Yes.
Because we don't want it to ourselves.
No.
We want you to get some too.
Absolutely. And like every good superhero, when you combine your powers.
Yeah.
Wow. And so that's what I'm looking at with the Wonder Twins. We're going to be triplets for a minute.
Activate.
Activate. Thank you both so much for joining the Choose You conversation.
Thank you, Dr. Ray.
My
Bye,
pleasure.
everybody.
Bye, everybody.